affordable way to get your message out there and try to connect with your consumers is, of course, Facebook, the social media platforms like Twitter. And I think those are probably the two most effective and most widely used at this point. So you can get cheap alternatives really with apps and also with the mobile web. Then you have text messaging that reaches the largest audience possible, and then you have Twitter and Facebook and other social media that you can reach out to customers.
We're going to be doing a whole lot more with mobile, and especially lean mobile, things that are intended to work on what the industry calls feature phones, which means crappy cell phones that can't do as much and don't have the kind of bandwidth that other cell phones do. They're the kind of phones that, according to ComScore, 83% of people have right now, and even though smartphones are going to get more popular, there will always be a mobile digital divide based largely on cost. Not just the cost of the phone, but the cost of the plan. Data costs money when you're talking mobile. But you cannot just pump your headlines out in the first paragraph of a story and depend that somebody's going to click through a link. You have to provide all the value right there in the email. So it's an editorial challenge to present that. And then there's also, of course, having a good mobile site. But again, sometimes we get people writing 2,000-word stories on Oakland Local. Yeah, believe it, they do. Do you think anybody's going to read that on a little tiny cell phone? No way. The thing about lean mobile is that you have to think harder about it as an editor. What are you going to present? How are you going to allow people to customize it? And how are you going to boil it down so it's going to be most useful? Because when people get something in their hand, they damn well better be able to use it. And if they can't use it, if it just feels like it's being broadcast out to them, then it won't work. And one of the big issues with apps, your app, if it's just a news app, unless you do an amazing job of building that brand and getting the content out to people, is more likely than not probably going to get lost on people's phones. So that's why it's useful to have a good mobile presence, to be in their email, to be in their social media. People with lower-end feature phones use Twitter, Facebook, MySpace. In Oakland, MySpace is still incredibly popular because a lot of very popular local musicians, high school sports teams, other types of things are there. You better believe we're going to find a way to have a presence on that. Lean mobile is about working with bandwidth and hardware constraints. It's about not seeing the lowest common denominator as a problem. It's just a frame within which you're working.